Hello everyone and welcome to a new reading. Today we are going to do something completely different. So in this video I want to introduce a new type of reading, which will be the update readings. In this case we're doing a shorter version to see how some people have been doing lately. Many blinks out there have been asking me to do update readings for their whichever member they want within Blackpink, and I'm like, I don't know about that, but my sister convinced me otherwise, and I was like, you haven't really, their individual reading was like 2 years ago for some people, so you might as well, right? And in this case I was like, okay, then we'll figure something out. So these are going to be update readings. Now for Blackpink, all of them were like the normal length that I remember individual readings to be like, but I want these ones to be a bit shorter. So these ones are going to be, I'll have less cards, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna speak more. It really depends on the person. It really depends on what has to be said. Some people are a lot chattier. Well, their energies are a lot chattier than others. So I really don't know how long this is gonna be. Maybe some of these ones might be even longer than my mini tarot, my mini individual readings, which is gonna be crazy, but whatever, that's how it works. So in this case, this update reading, we're going to check the same 4 sections that I have checked before, which will be, in this case, we're going to do Jisoo, so she's going to be my guinea pig in this one. We're going to check her current energy, her career, her love life, and her healing messages. Feel free to compare this reading to her individual reading back in the day, because of course her current energy is going to be different. But then again, I don't really remember how her reading went, so I don't... If it's very similar or if it's the same, then I'll be surprised. But, you guys tell me, because I'm not going back to watching those videos. Those are very long. I have more videos to create, so I'll focus on that instead. So in this case, let's see. How is Jisoo currently doing? The first card that came out is the 7 of Cups reverse. Ooh, more cards came out. We have the 5 of Cups reverse, the King of Pentacles reverse as well, the 8 of Pentacles upright, and the 6 of Pentacles reversed. So there's a lot of reversals, so that kind of tells me that there's a lot of things that are not happening or some stagnant energy going on. Nothing to be super alarmed for, because the 7 of Cups came out first and that one's reversed. And usually upright, it talks about having a lot of options, not knowing which one to pick. And with it reversed, it could mean a couple of things. Like, it could mean that right now Jisoo is in a place where she's like, there's only one thing that this is the only path that I'm taking. I don't care what other options are out there. I've decided on this path. Now, the other thing that this card could mean, since it's reversed, it could also mean that she doesn't really see her options. She doesn't know what's available, and she doesn't know what path to take, because she doesn't even know what are the possibilities out there. So currently it seems like it could be struggling a little bit, but let's look at the other cards to get a little bit more clarity. So we have the 5 of Cups reversed. Okay, so no, this one's kind of weird. So upright, this card usually talks about someone that's in a very pessimistic way of thinking things. Instead of focusing on the 3 cups that are upright, they focus on the 2 cups that fell, right? And it's usually someone that's very sad looking at those 2 cups that have spilled. So what is it? I think the saying that usually goes with the 5 of Cups is like crying over spoiled milk, like crying over nothing or being worried over nothing. So with this card being reversed, I do feel that it's showing us a little bit more of a positive outlook. In this case, it's showing that right now Jisoo is in a place where she's trying to stay optimistic about the situation she's in. So seeing how it's right after the 7 of Cups, this kind of shows that even if things are not really going the way that she wanted it, or maybe if the paths are not very clear for her currently, like she doesn't know what are the possibilities out there for her or what path she could take, like what are her options, she doesn't know what they are. They haven't fully manifested in front of her yet. She's still staying pretty positive about it. She's not giving up hope yet. She's still trying to stay positive and optimistic about those options eventually presenting themselves to her, and she doesn't have to worry too much. So right now it feels like she's trying to stay positive about her situation. She's not trying to be too hard on herself or her life or anything. Now the other thing that we have right here is the King of Pentacles reversed. So in this case, there is a sense of, I feel she may feel a bit underaccomplished, or she may feel like she hasn't reached the goals that she has set for herself. Because if I'm correct, Jisoo is a Capricorn and the King of Pentacles is Capricorn energy, so this card could be representing her. So with this card being reversed, it kind of shows that she doesn't feel like she has accomplished what she wished she had accomplished by the time that she's in right now. Usually Earth energy is all about planning, is like, by this many years I'm gonna be here and there, or by this time when I reach this age I should have this already ready and done, or I will have this figured out. So with this card being reversed, I do feel that Jisoo she currently feels like she hasn't accomplished the goals that she has set for herself some time ago. So I do feel that maybe 10 years ago she was like, 10 years from now I'm gonna be doing this and that, and time has passed and she feels like she hasn't gotten anywhere closer to that dream or that goal. So she may feel a sense of disappointment again, but that she's not pressuring herself too bad, but she's not necessarily happy with her position right now, because again, she's not seeing those options yet. I do feel that they're out there, I just don't feel that they have manifested themselves fully to the point where she can actually see them as tangible ideas or tangible projects that she can work on. So with this card reverse, I do feel that she's a little bit out of she's not super stable, or she may be out of her center because things are not working out the way that she will have liked. Now the next card that we have right here is the Eight of Pentacles. So despite being in this kind of like, it's funny, right? Because it feels like a wave. It feels like it's like we take a dip of something not good happening, and then something good comes in, and then another card comes in that's kind of bad, and then we have this Eight of Pentacles that is pretty good. So with this Eight of Pentacles upright, it kind of shows that despite things not really working out the way that she wanted it and the pacing that she wanted it, Jisoo is still working very hard to make her dreams come true. Like, she's working hard in her jobs and her responsibilities. She's working hard in the projects that she takes on. She's working also very hard in trying to perfect her skills and also learn a lot of new skills and knowledge that will help her in the future. So I do feel that in a way she is putting her best effort. She's putting all of her energy into creating better possibilities for herself. So in a way, it feels like she's building good luck for herself. You know how they say that or maybe I'm from the belief that there is a hint of luck in our life. Like, we need a little bit of it, but by working on ourselves and our skills and our knowledge, we're opening ourselves to more opportunities and in a way creating our own luck, if that makes sense. Like, by having the right skills and the right opportunities, and in a way putting ourselves out there, we put ourselves under the spotlight that allow other people to be like, yeah, that's the type of person I need for this, and then an opportunity kind of surfaces out of nowhere. That's kind of what I mean. In this case, that's the energy that Jisoo is currently in. Like, she's working so hard on her skills and on her projects that is gonna reflect very well on her, and that will open other doors for her, even if she can't see it right now. And the last card that we have right here for her current energy is the Six of Pentacles reversed. So in this case, it kind of shows that she doesn't feel very fortunate. She doesn't feel like things are going her way again. She feels like, especially, I do feel that this may have to do with her career. I don't think she's worried about her money as much as she's worried about her career. She feels like she's not getting the projects that make her happy and that satisfied her the way that she will have wished. Usually the Six of Pentacles I see as equal give and take, maybe in a project, maybe in a relationship, and pretty much in anything. Six of Pentacles energy could also talk about someone that is coming out of nowhere to bring an opportunity, to bring money, or a sudden burst of abundance coming for someone. But in this card, if you see the imagery of this one, it kind of shows like this person is feeding in a way coins to this plant and kind of nourishing it and giving it life again, right? So with it being reversed, I do feel that right now Jisoo is kind of like in a place where she feels like she's putting in a lot of work and not receiving a lot of rewards for her hard work. So maybe she's not getting recognized for her hard work, or maybe she's just not achieving the goals she had set for herself when she started on this path or on this projects or working with these people. So something is not really working out for her, and that's because I guess I understand why all of these cups are reversed, right? There's an emotional vacancy within her. So even if she has all of the material success and skills and everything, there's something that's still missing, and she feels like it's not satisfying her enough. So she feels like there's not an equal give and take. Like, she's putting in all of this hard work and bringing good results, but in return it's not giving her the satisfaction she wished it could have given her in the beginning. So that seems to be like the issue currently, and that's why she's going like up and down, right? Like there's highs and lows in her life so often, right? Because it's like, yeah, materially she's succeeding, you know, a King of Pentacles will be happy with all the material success and the recognition that they're getting, but there's an emotional vacancy that she's going through right now that's kind of throwing her off balance a bit, because like, yeah, I'm putting all of this hard work, but I'm not being rewarded in a way that will emotionally satisfy her. So I do feel like maybe she may have to do some work in her heart chakra. But let's see. So an update on Jisoo's career. So what's going on with her career? A little update. How are things going right now? Sure. So the cards that came out is Full Moon in Aquarius with Be Real, and we have first quarter moon in Gemini with Speak Your World into Being. So right now it feels like in her career, the advice that Jisoo is getting, here we have 2 air signs, so that kind of shows that her thinking is going to be very important, and how she talks about it is going to be very important as well. So she's being currently encouraged to be a bit more realistic about how she wants to approach things. So maybe daydream a bit less and just dream, but also being grounded enough to think of realistic ways of achieving those goals. With the Aquarius card, I'm getting very strong Queen of Swords energy. So life is really encouraging Jisoo for her career to succeed. She needs to be very honest and just kind of speak her mind and talk to people. If she doesn't feel happy with something, say it. If she doesn't feel comfortable with the people she's working, say it. Or she feels like she's not being appreciated for her hard work, she should speak up about it as well. Like, life really wants to encourage her to just say what she thinks and how she feels about it. But also with Be Real, I feel that life is saying like that right now she needs to be in a mentality where she needs to keep in mind the work that she's doing and be realistic about what she's going to get out of it. So instead of being disappointed that it's not giving her emotional fulfillment, she should kind of keep in mind, okay, if you started this project, why did you start this project? And keep in mind the people you're working with and what their goals are. And if they don't match with and they don't align with her heart, then of course it's not going to emotionally satisfy her, and she should kind of put her feet in the ground and understand that that's just how it's going to be. If she continues taking projects that don't make her happy because she's working with people that don't have the same vision as her, then of course she's going to feel a sense of vacancy, just because she's working out of her element in a way, if that makes sense. Now, with Speak Your World into Being, I do feel that life is encouraging Jisoo for her career to be successful. It will be beneficial for her to find other people that are in the same wavelength as her, and to find people that have the same goals and desires as her, the same vision as her, the same perspective, the same point of view about life or goals, I guess. And with this butterfly, it's people that want to improve themselves and want to be better and want to do things that will help them become better people or to develop their skills further. So people that want to continue learning, want to continue experiencing life, and want to continue doing things differently. But yeah, the Speak Your World into Being, I do feel that life is kind of pushing Jisoo to start speaking up a bit more about how she thinks and what she feels about situations. So like that, she slowly kind of gets rid of people that are not in the same page as her, and slowly bring in people that are in the same page as her, and that will kind of clear her heart space and bring her a lot more happiness. But yeah, she needs to be very honest. If she's going to work in a project and she already feels like the vibes are not it, she could either like leave it and do something else, or she can work with it, but then she should not feel disappointed later that she is being surrounded by a bunch of people that don't necessarily have the same vision as her. I'm not necessarily saying that these people are bad. I'm just saying that it's just very professional, distant, and cold. Like, these people are just like doing their job, and like they don't really care about personal matters or stuff like that. So that could bring her a bit of discouragement, because then she feels like she's not developing her mental skills or something along those lines, right? Someone like, she's not being emotionally stimulated to improve herself and to just do things differently and being innovative in life and being encouraged to just be a better version of herself, basically. So let's get details about her career. So an update on Jisoo's career. So we have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, okay, so it seems like in her career right now, she feels like she's being lied to. She feels betrayed. Not okay, let me be honest. I don't think people are treating her badly. I feel that a lot of people are just putting so much distance with her that they're being superficial maybe, or they're just not being as honest as she wishes they could be. Like the communication is just not there. A lot of people are just lying to her. A lot of people are just they're lying by omission, let's just put it that way. They're not like saying things that are gonna hurt her, but by trying not to hurt her they are, because they're not telling her things how they are. And because of that, life is really encouraging Jisoo to find a space in her career, or people in her career that are just like the real deal. Like they're very honest, they're truthful, and they say things how they see it. And the only way she can attract those people is if she's doing that herself, instead of shying away when people are kind of like trying to be nice to her just to be nice to her. She can just be very truthful, and if those people can't handle it, it's like, okay, then get out of my life. Let me go with other people that can actually handle it. And then by doing that, she will slowly attract people that are in the same wavelength as her, and that will bring her a lot more emotional fulfillment, because those people are going to be very honest with her. They're not going to betray her, because that's just not how they are as people, and they're going to tell her exactly how they see things without fear of hurting her, because they understand that she can handle it, and they also understand that they're not coming from a place of wanting to hurt her. So I do feel that in her career, she's reaching a space where she wants people that are honest, and she wants people that are truthful, and she wants people that want to grow and become better individuals, and become better at their craft, and become better with their skills. And she just wants people that she can truthfully communicate with, and again, being in the same wavelength as her. So she just wants to be understood, and she wants to be with people that again are going to be very honest with her and very real with her. So she doesn't want superficial relationships anymore, in her career at least. So let's jump into the third section of this reading, which is Jisoo's love life. 2 cards came out right away. So we have first quarter moon in Cancer with push through any insecurity, and then we have last quarter moon in Aries with work through your feelings. So here we have 2 cardinal signs. So this kind of shows me that she's definitely going for it. She's definitely taking action. She's taking the initiative in her love life, or she's doing something that is kind of causing things to change and shift and move, basically. Like things are just going, right? But with these 2 signs, they kind of square, so there's kind of a lot of clashing and tension of energies. I'm not saying of people, of energies. So there's super different approaches and goals that Cancer and Aries have right now. So there's a little bit of conflict going on. So with push through any insecurity, it kind of feels like currently Jisoo's love life is kind of not going that well, in the sense that she may be struggling with finding a place where she feels at home, where she feels comfortable, where she feels cared for, and where she feels desired, even, if that makes sense. Again, I do feel that she's surrounded by a lot of superficial people and a lot of relationships that are very superficial, and she's getting sick and tired of it, and because of that, it could kind of trickle down to her love life as well. With the first quarter moon in Cancer, it definitely feels like emotion wise, she could be just very distrustful with relationships. She could have been betrayed in her career, and because of that again kind of put in ideas in her love life as well, where she doesn't feel like she can trust people anymore. Yeah, it kind of feels like in her love life, in order to succeed, she needs to kind of not dwell, also like swim deeper into her emotions and get to know herself a bit more. So in a way, do a little bit of shadow work, maybe go on hermit mode for some time, because these 2 women kind of feel like they're just walking a path filled with darkness, and they don't really know where they're going, but they're kind of following their internal light to guide them through all of that darkness. And in that sense, getting a sense of enlightenment, right, which is supposed to be like the aha moment of sorts, or like just the knowledge of how she works and how she thinks about relationships, right? So yeah, work through your feelings and push through any insecurity. It kind of goes like, if Jisoo were to work a little bit more in her heart and kind of focus in that energy, she'll be able to help herself more, because she will finally understand what her true fears are, where her doubts lie, and where it kind of stemmed from, and all of that will kind of help her organize herself again. So that's the action that she should be taking for in her career. I mean, in her love life, I guess in her career as well, so she can get rid of like fake people, but she should definitely have that in her love life as well, because that's going to kind of help her just, again, get rid of people that are not worth it, and it will also create a space that will clear her heart space and bring her a bit more stable, and bring her a lot more happiness. So I do feel that this doesn't always have to do with romantic relationships. I do feel that this could just do with a bit of self-love. That shadow work is going to be a lot more beneficial for her than in exchange when she is in a romantic relationship. It will definitely help her there too as well. But this is something of like her focusing, Jisoo focusing on herself is a priority, and she will be the main person benefiting from that shadow work, basically. But yeah, life really wants her to find those mirrors and find her insecurities and just kind of walk right into that emotion and be like, why do I feel like this? What caused this? And how can we solve it? Kind of have that type of mentality. So what's an update to Jisoo's love life going on? 2 cards came out. We have the 10 of Wands and Judgment. Okay, so let's see. They're in frame now. Okay, so with the 10 of Wands, it talks about burdens, responsibilities, having too much to carry, too much to handle, too much going on at once. So, at once. Anyway, so with this 10 of Wands, it kind of shows that right now Jisoo's love life is filled with a lot of trash, let's put it that way. A lot of things that have to be done. This could be that she's in an environment where she's so busy doing so many other things that she just doesn't have time for love. In this case, romantic love, so being with other people. And with this Judgment card being right next to it, life is really, really calling Jisoo to start doing some internal work and start finding her soul purpose, trying to do a lot of shadow work to kind of reinvent herself and like have this Phoenix moment of rebirth, right? Death and rebirth type of thing. Because Judgment is a Pluto card, so Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, which in tarot, the Death card represents Scorpio. But also Pluto is it's a planet of transformations. But those are very harsh transformations. It's like definitely destroying everything that doesn't work and rebuilding yourself from those ashes. Like, it can be very difficult and very painful. I mean painful because it's like letting go of things from the root. Like, the root of the problem definitely is like it's gone. So yeah, it can be very painful because as humans we kind of have to mourn the even if it's something we didn't like, we kind of have to like grieve a little bit that it's gone. Anyway, so with the 10 of Wands, I do feel that it's just a lot of burdens and a lot of responsibilities that are weighing her down right now, and life really wants Jisoo to kind of like step into her power of self-love and self-care, because that will benefit her romantic life. It will also benefit her career, because then she'll get rid of like those superficial relationships that have no business being in her life. But let's jump into the last section of this update reading and let's figure out what are the healing messages for Jisoo. A bunch of cards came out. That's 5 cards. I'm just gonna take the bottom one, because you know how in the bottom of the deck it's supposed to represent all of the cards above it? Yeah. So the card that came up was Starfish Spirit with Open to Infinite Possibilities. I feel, just because this is not the last card that we're gonna have in this reading, but I almost feel like we went full circle, because the first card that she had was a 7 of Cups reversed, and I mentioned that it could be reversed because it's kind of showing that she feels like there's no possibilities out there for her. But with Open to Infinite Possibilities, life is encouraging Jisoo right now to just be open to the unexpected, to be open to doing things differently. In this sense, I do feel that life wants Jisoo to be open to just go ahead and jump right into trouble. jump right into chaos, because this chaos, because how should I put it, the moment that she says, I'm not dealing with these people anymore, I'm not dealing with this type of energies anymore, I'm going to do what I want to do and what makes me happy, she will have to reject a lot of people, projects, and environments, and that is going to take a lot of time. I do feel it's gonna, here's the thing, one of two things could happen. It's gonna take a lot of time for her to like get rid of the things that don't fit in her life, or it's gonna take a lot of time for her to build the courage to just cut everything off. I don't really know what type of person Jisoo is, so I don't know if she's the type that is like, okay, this doesn't work for me, gone, snip, 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 or if she's the type of person that is like, let me do things one thing at a time. So whenever a project presents itself, okay, this is not it, no. Oh, when a person presents themselves and they're just filled with lies, okay, no. I don't really know what type of person she is. But yeah, with this open to infinite possibilities, I do feel that life is encouraging Jisoo to be open to the possibility of maybe having to get rid of the type of lifestyle that she currently has in order to make room for the one that she desires. Because it makes me think of how I think All Starship have this, that if you cut one of its limbs, it will be able to regrow it, to regenerate it, and that sense of rebirth, that sense of regeneration, that sense of just completely destroying something and bringing it back. I do feel that's kind of like the general energy that we're been getting with Jisoo right now. So let's see, a card for Jisoo's healing message. Yeah, we have Temperance. So Temperance talks about balance, talks about harmony. It talks about bringing two things together so it can bring balance. Temperance is Sagittarius energy, so being optimistic, thinking outside the box, because it's experiencing and expanding outside of what it already knows. With this Temperance card, there is a sense of her guardian angels are there for her. She's protected and taken care of. So if she does decide to just take that leap and get rid of everything that doesn't work for her, her spirit guides are gonna have her back, and she's not going to be alone. She's going to find people that are going to help her. She's going to find answers that are going to guide her. She's going to find the resources and the skills and tools to survive during those difficult times, so she's not alone and she will not just be left out in the cold. So life really wants her to just kind of trust, and that in order to have that harmony, yeah, it will not be easy, but again, she's not on her own. Now, to finish off this reading, let's take out just some tea leaves to see any last messages. So we have the Thoughts card with shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. We have Hand with in need of help, assistance, and guidance. Let's just take one more tea leaf for Jisoo. The last words. And then we have Flute with disappointment in a friend or lover. So I think it is quite inevitable for Jisoo at this point. She will have to get rid of a friend or a partner, or she will have to get rid of, so yeah, I guess a friend, a lover, a family member, an environment. She definitely has to get rid of someone, because I don't feel it's just like someone. I feel it's like maybe a domino effect, like a group of people. Like, definitely, I feel like it's a type of person rather than a specific individual that she just has to get rid of. And by that I mean, it's like, to clear her space, she just kind of has to get rid of the energy that is not working for her. So I definitely feel like this kind of fits more with her career, because that's where it all started. So yeah, life really, really wants to emphasize that someone's gonna disappoint her, someone's gonna betray her, someone's gonna lie to her, or it has already happened and she just doesn't want to see it. And whatever that is, life wants her to be very real and be like, okay, this person is not it, so are you gonna stay with them or not? Do you really want them in your life? Or do you really want this type of people in your life? Because I do feel that this is just people that are superficial. So yeah. And then with a Hand, we had in need of help, assistance, and guidance. So I do feel that this goes more in the healing messages, with this Temperance card kind of saying that she's not on her own, she's protected, she's taken care of, so she doesn't have to worry about it. Her spirit team is there, her guardian angels are there. So if she needs help going through this period of rebirth, she'll have it for sure. And then the last card that we have right here is the Thoughts card with shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So I do feel that in this case, it kind of goes in her career as well, which is kind of encouraging Jisoo in this case to just, well, it's kind of like, it's about her career, but I do feel that it will fit here with her Eight of Pentacles. The whole thing about like the skills that she has gathered, the new way of thinking that she has learned, and all of those things are skills that will help her in clearing her environment, clearing her space, and clearing her the groups that her circles, so the groups that she hangs out with. So that will be very beneficial for her business, because she's just going to get rid of people that have no business being around her and are just draining her energy, or just are not giving her that equal give and take relationship that she desires, right? She wants people that have a little bit more depth to them and are real. No fake people around Jisoo right now. She doesn't want it. So yeah, I'll leave that there. I hope you guys like this reading. I didn't really know how this was gonna work out. I thought I was gonna get less cards, but as I mentioned, I kind of figured that some people were just gonna give me more cards than anything. Like, I wanted 3 cards here, 1 oracle, 1 tarot, 1 oracle, 1 tarot, and then just 3 tea leaves, but that clearly didn't happen, so woohoo. Anyway, it was very fun to read for Jisoo. I am actually very curious to read your comments, because I want to know if you like this type of reading. Was this the type of update you were looking for? And also, how does this compare to her individual reading? I know a lot of you started watching Jisoo's individual reading this year. I think back in January or February, around that time. So I really want to, I think it was January actually. So I really want to hear what you guys have to say and how this compares. I want to see how things have changed, and I am actually very curious, because I don't really remember much of her, what was I going to say? Of her individual reading. I remember there was a conflict in her career. I just don't know how that translates to now. But yeah, I'll leave that there. I'll see you in the next one, or whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.